So it's time to talk about 13 Reasons Why again. I am on episode 7, tape 4, side A, and this is like at least the seventh lie that Hannah has told. The first one was about Jessica, and her lie was that she first stopped going to Monet's, which turned out that Hannah actually first stopped going, which is her first lie. Then the second lie was about Alex and Jessica, that they like both stopped going at the same time and were avoiding her, but they actively tried talking to her, like even like waving, saying hi, like not full conversations, but like trying to at least start something, and she would ignore them. Then they ended up dating and but being more public about it, because not everyone wants to like be public about dating, which makes sense. It's a private thing, and once you're ready to share it, then you're like make it public. First you have to like be intimate with the person before you put it on blast. And she ended up saying, "Here, Jessica, that's what best friends do. You don't have to pay for the ticket," but made Alex pay for it because she blamed him for like leaving or like making Jessica not be friends with her or whatever. And she was like $10. And then when Alex and Jessica broke up and he was like sad in the theater, like after movies ended, he was just like down in the dumps for a while. Then she didn't do anything. She was like, "Oh, it's just him being sad. I'm not gonna talk to him about it because I care about him and I want to be his friend, but I'm not gonna give a shit about him." And then who else? Oh, Justin. The rumor that ended up going around was Justin. She didn't like rebut it. She like instead of, I mean, it's not her fault that the picture was spread, but she lied about like wanting it to stop or trying to stop it, because she didn't say to anyone jack shit. She was like, "Oh, the rumor's going around. It's just, gonna happen." And then once, like, instead of like confronting people, because first of all, what type of high school has everyone's phone number? That's mad unrealistic. But she could have just been like, that picture was taken on accident, or all we did is kiss. Like, she didn't make any effort to try to like combat the rumor and explain that it wasn't true. But it ended up going down regardless. And then who else? Oh, it was Courtney. When that picture ended up getting sent around, she was like, "You know what a picture can do to someone's life, right?" And then she was like, "What do you mean?" And because they were just talking about how her going to third base with Justin was a rumor. And she like snapped back about that. And then when it was the winter formal, and it ended up going around that like she was a lesbian and just wanted like a third person, a dude, for a threesome. Instead of like, she's mad, like stared down Clay for him to say something when it's not his place to. They're not a couple, so she doesn't have to stand up for him. So her always looking at him and like longing for him to stand up for her is like bullshit. Like, he already has enough on his plate. Like, before all of this shit happened, he was like just going through the first 2 years on autopilot. And then he started like realizing, "Oh, I don't like this school now." Like, he might have been like going through autopilot and getting like bullied or teased or whatever, but like until now we don't know anything like about him. It's mainly about Hannah. But the point is that it wasn't his job to like stand up for her. And she didn't stand up for the second rumor either. Like, the first one started coming back when the second one came. Was like, "Oh, you're easy, blah 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 blah," and still coming up. She wasn't even trying to stop the rumors after that. So that was a lie, that she cared so much. Because if she cared so much, she could have told someone. Like, I don't know, a fucking adult, her parents, who care so much about her. Like, honest to God, care so much. And then, what are the other things? Oh, so there's Jessica, Justin, Courtney, Zach, this for this episode, she ended up lying that he threw away the message and was like, "Oh, it's your fault because you didn't come after me after I told you." Like, the main thing with Hannah is that she'll tell people, "Hey, yo, stop," and yell at them like really fucking loud until everyone's staring at them. And what are they gonna do? Keep saying, "Hey, I care about you. Talk to me." Because then it's gonna seem like they're not respecting her boundaries. If she says stop, they're gonna stop. She can't be like, "Oh no, I want you guys to stop. I don't want this." And then them like be like how people are in the like cheesy romance movies, like, "No, I love you. I'm gonna care about you. Talk to me." Like, that shit is for movies. Like, okay, she didn't get that. Who else? I didn't get to the other ones like Bryson, whatever, but let's see, because there's Zach, Justin, Jessica, Alex. My fingers are being weird. Hold on. Jessica, Alex, Zach. Oh, Tyler. She was. Oh my gosh, Tyler. Okay, so she was like, "Oh, he's stalking me, blah blah blah." She could have told again. She could have told an adult, but her lie about that. What's her lie about that? Fuck. Oh, okay. So she told one person. She told Courtney, and then when stuff fell through, was Courtney. No one else knew that Tyler was stalking people until one, the tapes. Like, no one knew except for what she told Courtney, and then the tapes. So she was lying that it was like a big deal for her and it happened every night after that, and then it stopped after that tape. So I was like, was it happening or was it not, or did she just like forget to include that, or be like, "Oh, it stopped after this"? So that's not a blatant lie, but it's kind of like fishy. Oh, and then when she was talking with Tyler, because she was like, "Hey, can I get all of the pictures of me back?" And she was like, "No, we can't hang out," or "No, I don't want to," or either she said directly no, or she just laughed because Tyler was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" Because Tyler and Clay both have a crush on Hannah. She was like, "Funny," and then like not literally said funny, but I'm dramatizing her character because her character is so fucking bland. But she was like, "Funny, I'm not gonna hang out with you because you just stalked me," which makes sense. But then he leaked the photos, and she was like, "It's okay, it's not a big deal. I didn't do anything, bitch." You know exactly why he put them out, because he asked to hang out, and he has leverage over you. You don't say no to a person who has leverage over you, or you do the smart thing and go to the authorities. And then, so it was Tyler, Jessica, Alex, Justin, Zach, and Marcus. I honestly don't think there was a lie in that. Like, she's been lying about everything else, and people have come forward and been like, "I didn't do that," or she made me out to seem like the bad guy and that I didn't care, and I did. So that loose end of this, like, if they were gonna draw it out to each episode be an hour, they should have tied up the loose ends and be like, yeah, like from the previous tape, and like, "Oh, Hannah's lying about Justin and, well, not what happened, but Hannah's lying. Like, even it showed his side that he kind of gets bullied and was turning more into Bryce more and more. Like, he was kind of like Zach, getting bullied and whatever, and then going more and more to be like Bryce so he will get accepted. Now, with that, could have gone back to him and been like, oh, I actively like talked and tried to not have it sent around, and I tried to apologize after or something. Even if not, like the next episode was the main two things, which was Jessica's and then Alex's tape, could have been like connected. Like, oh, Jessica go into like his story and been like, yeah, Alex is right, Hannah's lying, that we didn't stop going. We like started dating and didn't tell her because we didn't want it to ruin the friendship, but we didn't stop coming. She did. And then we started talking and hanging out more, and then we ended up dating because, we were the only ones together and like, catching feelings for each other. And then that could have been tied up like, oh, she's lying, and Clay, you should really listen to the tapes with a grain of salt because she's lying. But yeah, everything is like, oh, Hannah's lying, and then Clay's like, oh, okay. The person of the tape is like, do you want to know how she's lying and know the truth? And he's like, no, not really. And I'm like, just have him listen. Like, if he would have maybe from like the second or third episode like figured out that she was lying and stopped listening to this, then the first season could have been 3 fucking episodes. God damn it. But it's just like, there's massive red flags that Hannah's lying and not to trust her. And then Clay is like, I'm in love with the dead girl, so I'm gonna keep listening. And it irritates me because in the book, he listened to all of the tapes in one thing. Or read the book, read the note, and then felt bad about it. I don't know if there was tapes in the book, but from what I heard, that it wasn't this long of Clay finding out and going through it. He like felt really bad, listened to it or read the note all in one night, and then was like passed it on to the next person. Oh, never mind. It is tapes. Okay. I don't know. I watched like 4 reviews, and people are like, you listen to all of the tapes all night. But she made a like note for the people close to her. Okay. But yeah, it's just a thing that Hannah's lying, and it's hard to feel pity for a dead girl when she doesn't have a very credible character.
See, I have this theory, Zach. I have this theory that you're lonely too.
And the thing is, like, she ends up finding out that he's like getting, like, he's lonely like her, and he was like trying to reach out and like reaching out to Olive Branch sort of thing, like, oh, I'm lonely, you're lonely, I know what it is to feel like that, I'm trying to be genuinely there for you. And then she just blames him. Like, anytime someone tries to help her or do good for her, she's like, oh, well, I wish you would have tried harder, even though I said no. Or when people try and then get sick of her, like, pushing them away, they're like, okay, whatever, if you need me, you need me. And then she reaches out, like, 2 weeks later, and she's like, can you please, like, help me? Because I feel sad now. You literally would, like, yep, like, all of these people. She has some sort of anger issues. Like, that's the only thing that she has. She doesn't seem sad. She doesn't seem depressed. She just has anger issues about people trying to help her. And then in her tape, she's like, I wish they would have helped me. Bitch, you yelled at them. You like, oh, like when BoJack yells at Todd, yelled at people. Like, you yell at people really bad and make them feel like shit for helping you. Why would they go back? Like, if you set boundaries and they say no, no doesn't mean yes. No means no.